Last month I went to see Breaking Dawn. There's my ticket. You might not be able to make it out fully. I mean, why would I lie about seeing that? I got to mock it. I was allowed to mock it as part of the date that I was on. I didn't think, what a classic love story. It was absurd from the start to the finish. I watched a werewolf fall in love with the baby. How did they think of that? And why did they write that down? It's so weird. Also, I was thankfully not the only person to laugh aloud when Bella was like, oh, I want to call my baby EJ or Renzame. I just thought, you pleb. What ridiculous names. A little while ago, I read chapter 1 of Midnight Sun. I was hoping that by watching Breaking Dawn, it put me more in the mood to read chapter 2, but it didn't. I can't stand the way she writes. She just has to describe everything, but in a really annoying way. The tiny pieces of ice felt like velvet under my skin, and the stars created majestic swirling shapes, and the stars were also brilliant and glowing, an awesome sight, and they're exquisitely beautiful. You don't have to describe stars in 8 different ways in one paragraph. The last time we left Edward, he'd run away because Bella just smelled really hot. He's just in the snow lying there watching the stars. There's a movement. He's like, I'm not surprised that Tanya followed me here. I don't know who Tanya is. I'm sure he'll explain it. Irina and Kate said I should leave you alone. Who are all these people? Who the fuck is Tanya? And who are Irina and Kate? Oh, this conversation is pointless because I don't know who you are. They're having a really boring conversation with no substance. And the only explanation we get for who Tanya, Irina and Kate are is that little bit at the bottom and that bit at the top. What a pointless 4 pages. And then he's just back with his family. In a hurry to see my family and wanting very much to be the Edward that faced things head on, I raced across the starlit snowfield, leaving no footprints. It's going to be okay, Alice breathed. There's literally no gap between it. They just jump straight back to his family. And they're walking towards the cafeteria, so it's like the next day. You wrote 4 pages of pointless Tanya, and then you just skip ahead to a bit where he could have had like a poignant discussion with his family about how he feels about this girl and how they're going to deal with it at school. So far, the only character in here that I have any kind of liking for is Emmett. He just seems like he just doesn't care. Just throws ice at walls to break it, and he's like, oh, it looked more impressive if you did it, baby. A little bit of side story with Mike and Jessica. Mike likes Bella. Jessica still doesn't. All the humans catch Edward staring at Bella. They tell Bella. He continues to stare at her and just listen to what they're saying, which is weird. Then everyone leaves. All the vampires stay in the cafeteria. Edward's not sure where to go. But don't worry, Super Alice is to the rescue. You remember Alice, got that power, can see into the future? I think it's okay, Alice said, hesitant. Your mind is set. I think you'll make it through the hour. But Alice knew well how quickly a mind could change. Of course she knows how quickly a mind could change. Once a mind changes, her power becomes useless. I like the way Stephanie Meyer ends this page. Will curiosity be enough to keep Bella Swan alive? And then Stephanie Meyer does something which is pretty much amazing. She manages to capture the mundane boringness of spending an hour doing a task you don't really want to do. There is a page and a half where they do a science experiment. He's actually asked her why she's there, and it seems like she's going to explain it. Mother got remarried. He travels a lot, plays ball for a living. I assume that's baseball. She says she stayed with me at first, but she missed him. It made her unhappy, so I decided it was time to spend some quality time with Charlie, who I think is her dad. Unlike most humans, her own needs were far down the list. She was selfless. Fucking hell, Stephanie, can you just write some flaws into this character, please? She made a face, her eyes narrowing and her mouth twisting into a lopsided pout. That's chapter 2. Yeah. Riveting.